not incapable, according to the Gospels, of using some pretty harsh and uncompromising, and even we could say, aggressive tone in criticizing those people who had corrupted God's true message. And that is what Christianity is. Let's spell it out. It is nothing except a corruption and a lie against Allah. I had a series of questions here. It's as if they weren't even listening to what I said. I find that quite frustrating. Why ask a question about something which the answer to it was already given in the talk? Some of these questions have been written by people who didn't seem to understand what I was saying. So, for example, did you study the words of the Apostle Peter? Well, the whole premise and the whole basis of my discussion, which I started, was questioning the historicity of what we have today as the Bible. In other words, I started by showing that it was questionable whether the Bible actually represented the historical facts. And they were questionable because when we study history, we find that the Bible today is a selection of documents selected by a particular group of people with a particular theological way of thinking. In other words, the Bible today has been pre-selected by Trinitarian Christians in order to support their doctrines. However, just today I was reading a very interesting thing about the whole existence of a completely different set of documents, which are the epistles of Peter, that are not included in the present Bible simply because they totally disagree with the present Bible's theological position. Now this person says, did you study the words of the Apostle Peter, who witnessed the life and death and resurrection of Jesus? Peter confirmed and approved the teachings of the Apostle Paul. Yes, perhaps in the Bible you have today. But if you read these other documents, that they exist, and we have fragments of them and we have major segments of them, they say quite a different story. Peter does not agree with Paul at all, in fact. And that's what's very interesting. We find the existence of, they are called now, of course, by Trinitarian Christians, sects. But people like the Ebionites and the Nazarenes. There is a group of early Christians who believed that Paul was a heretic, that he perverted the true gospel of Jesus. So this is the whole basis of my discussion. Because we wanted to find the truth about Jesus. And then when we realized that when we try to look for truth, we have some methods that we employ. We study history. We study facts. It's not based upon faith. Faith may or may not lead you to the truth. But let's face it, as Christians and Muslims, we all agree. We both agree, Christians and Muslims, that people who have faith in the devil and worship him and believe in him have not reached any kind of truth. But it's still a faith. People have different faiths in different things. People have faith in Krishna. People have faith in Buddha. They have faith in those things and they believe that their books are true. But what does that establish? And this is my point. What are the means that we use to distinguish truth from falsehood? No Christian has written down to me yet in all of these questions the first question I asked. The first question I asked, I would have liked them to write a response to it. This is the way that we know what's right from what's wrong. This is the way we determine truth, but no one's written that down. Okay. Please announce there is a sister who is trying to leave by car and someone is blocking the way and the registration. It's a cream Mitsubishi RDG722. So could RDG722, if you're like me, you never remember your registration number. It's a cream Mitsubishi. Please, whoever it is, move your car. Okay. And this answers so many questions here. So this is my point. The Bible does not represent the truth about Jesus. It represents a viewpoint. And that is the most any honest person can say about the Bible. No, we're not having a debate. We are not having a debate. You're not entitled to enter into a conversation like that. Okay? So I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. We're not taking questions from the floor. It's okay. Okay, the next question is Christ lying when he claims to be the only way to the Father? Now, again, we go back to the same thing. And the person quotes the Gospel of John. Again, this person totally fails to seem to have listened to what my talk was all about. By quoting the Bible and saying Christ said, it's as if the person was deaf. And like I said, you can't make the deaf hear, can you? You can talk to them, but they don't hear what you're saying. Maybe my English is not good enough, or their English is not good enough, or maybe I just don't make sense when I'm speaking. Okay? But however, let's go to John 14:9 actually. I have a very interesting thing here. It says, consider the following sayings of Jesus found in John's Gospel alone. That's the operative word, alone. Only we find these sayings in John's Gospel. Check it out. John chapter 14:9. Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. John 6:35. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. John 8:12. I am the light of the world. John 8:58. Before Abraham was, I am. And in John 10, 11, 14 and 15 in various chapters, I am the door of the sheep. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the truth, the life. I am the true vine. Now, this is what he goes on to say.